Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Online Creators Association's Thursday night live stream. For once, it did the thing, and I didn't immediately stop the introduction to say "fuck." So I've just gotten back from Paris, where I went to a communications conference to present about research that we want to try and do on TikTok. And I also learned a bunch about what the field of media studies is saying about TikTok right now. I really want to talk about all that. I also want to talk about some of the things TikTok did behind my back while I was gone.
Specifically to you.
Yep.
Yeah. What did TikTok do behind your back?
So the first thing that I am going to pull up is I'm just going to share the whole screen. New ways to tag creators.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think this was a little bit before I left, but it was by this point I was already not paying attention because I had my first airplane flight in a few days. But yeah, so there are new ways to cite my. We're always exploring new ways to amplify the voices of our creator community and celebrate the innovative content creators share. The innovative content creators share on TikTok. That is such an annoying sentence.
Yeah.
They should have written that between content and creators because content creators is a word. Inspiration can come from anywhere, and it's important that creators are equipped with the right tools that allow TikTok to continue being a place where creativity is celebrated and individually credited. Today, we're introducing new tools to better enable creator credit and equitable attribution for our creator community and content originators. These features are an important step in our ongoing commitment to investing in resources and product experiences that support a culture of credit, which is central to ensuring TikTok remains a home for creative expression. With the launch of these crediting tools, creators will have the ability to directly tag, mention, and credit a video in their description, showcasing the diverse voices on the platform and the strength of our community. Whether taking part in the latest trend, adding a punchline to a joke, or creating the next viral sound, creators can easily and directly cite their inspiration. We're also adding more user prompts to credit throughout the posting process, along with an educational pop-up that encourages and explains the importance of crediting. These new features will be rolling out to more people over the next few weeks. This all sounds good to me.
Here's the thing. It sounds great, actually. I really love the concept of seeing a video and getting to directly essentially link people to the video that inspired you, that you're building off of. That's so useful, especially in the things that I am talking about at this point, where I'm constantly hearing other people talk about a thing and I go oh, that's a great idea. Let me bounce off of that. That's wonderful. That's all great. I object to TikTok making it seem like they have this wonderful culture of crediting creators and giving creators the credit where it's due, when they quite literally had an entire exhibit at the Museum of the Moving Image and didn't tell a single one of the people featured that their shit was on display in a museum in New York City. My stuff has been tweeted out by TikTok several times. I never heard from them once. It's good. I'm just very tired of TikTok doing that thing where they're we're actually very benevolent. Stop it.
Yeah. I think TikTok's been doing better lately than they have done in the past. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a lot of energy to get angry at a corporation for pretending they were always good at the thing that they are just learning how to do, because I don't think that there's any version of reality where any corporation cops to the fact that they used to suck at a thing that they're trying to do right.
I am simply full of spite and incapable of letting things go.
Right.
Yeah. And
we were having this conversation earlier today.
We genuinely were.
I'm just this is a consistent trend between the way that Cecilia versus the way that I perceive every relationship either of us have to any system or person, which is that Cecilia's like, I understand that a wrong occurred here, and so I am furious about it. And I'm like, I understand that a wrong occurred here. And also I thought about it for 10 seconds and understand that like that was inevitable, and I can't make myself get angry about things that weren't gonna not happen.
See, here's my thing, is actually what happened is I recognize it as inevitable, and it ratchets up my fury. If anything, that's the worst part, is like someone said to me today on a video I made about fandom where they were like, yeah, people are like still holding grudges against the Supernatural writers, and I commented that I would still fight Andrew Dabb in a parking lot, but that's me. Understanding that like it's futile, like, of course TikTok bills itself this way, of course they do, and it's inevitable that they will, and that makes me even more like upset about it. I understand that it is petty and futile, and actually, again, this is a good feature, and I'm quite excited to be able to use it, especially when I'm sort of building off of the things that like my mutuals and I are all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think the part of it that I'm interested to see how they want to implement is where it's prompting people.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what that's going to look like.
Because that's the actual important part into putting into practice. Because if it's not something you're used to doing, you're just going to ignore the feature and it's going to be useless.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I said I'm curious what that's going to look like, and then I remembered that like immediately scrolling down from where I was in the article was screenshots.
Who could ever possibly know? Okay, so what does the time? I cannot read. Oh, thank you so much. My elderly eyes could not see.
So yeah, there's a little like pop-up thing that just like a blue text that says give credit to a video that it seems will show up under the videos button probably the first time you see it. And then there's a explainer when you click, looks like it's when you click on the video button that explains give credit to a video. Mention a video in your description, give credit to videos that inspired you. Creators will be notified when you mention their videos. So that's good.
I do wonder what implications that has for me as somebody who has tagging turned off.
I wonder if I might have seen it because I've seen some people tag to give credit, and the name shows up, but it's not clickable. So I'm wondering if that's what that is.
It might be.
Weird.
We'll see as this rolls out.
Because I feel like the solution there is to not notify the person, not to make the link not work.
I mean, we don't know that it did notify the person either.
Right, but
it still
like,
should. The link should still work.
Fully a non-functional piece of text, then yeah, obviously that won't notify the person. But like, to make it so that when you try to credit somebody who has notifications turned off, or who has like mentions turned off, what happens is not they don't get a notification about the mention. What happens is you don't actually get to link to their video. That's bad, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Gay
But
panic.
is this could this also be a case of?
That's not. It's been on all the watch videos for a few days now. Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you. I'm wondering if it is potentially a case of that thing where, because I don't have the feature looks broken from the outside.
Could 100% be that. Just went and checked. The tagged creators does open a pop-up where you can navigate to their accounts tagged.
Okay. We'll have to play around with this.
Yeah.
And see.
I'm tagging Cecilia and all my stuff. See if it works.
Stop tagging me. And here's the thing, you are allowed to, because my mutuals can tag me.
Oh, okay.
So like that's not a good test. It needs to be strangers.
I was gonna do it for the alt account, and I was like, nope, you follow me on there too.
Nope.
Alongside our focus on developing tools that inspire creativity, foster inclusion, and increase creator recognition, we are also committed to uplifting the trend originators for work they create through our through programming like our Originators series, We launched originators through our Discover list last October and recently debuted a TikTok Originators monthly social series highlighting originators on the platform. Our creator portal also features a crediting creators section that highlights the importance of attributing trend originators for their work. The portal includes an overview on the best practices to credit originators, provides different options for crediting originators, and dives into how to find originators if you aren't sure who has started a trend. This also seems important because this has been one of the major issues that people have talked about like race on TikTok, is that Black people invent trends and then white people go viral for them.
Yes. I am really interested to see if so. I do feel like this is designed to potentially disrupt like the current ecosystem of white creators getting famous off of Black creators trends. Specifically, the way in which they're rolling this out feels like the audience is now going to be able to say, you don't have an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it's not just that the tools are present and the tools are good, but that the audience is aware the tools exist and knows that they're easy to use. Because once it gets to that point, because that was like with the captions, when it was before there was auto captioning, people, there were a lot of like ways out for people who just didn't feel like doing it. Now that it's like in the app, it's much harder for people to like actually talk about what might be preventing them from doing that. And audiences held people accountable. So I'm wondering if we're going to see something similar to that. Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting that they, in that whole paragraph, seem to be admitting that you understand that these content originators are creating, revenue for our platform, but we will not be paying them for that. We will simply know that they are the ones doing it.
We will put a feature for them in an area of TikTok that most people are not accessing when they go to TikTok.
Yep. Kudos, but we will not give you coins.
Describing this last paragraph here, it's important to see a culture of credit take shape across the digital landscape and to support underrepresented creators in being properly credited and celebrated for their work. We are eager to see how these new creator tools inspire more creativity and encourage trend attribution across the global TikTok community. I think that is about as close as you can get in corporate speak to saying we understand that we weren't good at this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pleased. Shocking. I'm pleased.
Every once in a while, Mr. TikTok gives us something that sounds positive as a treat.
They've been doing a lot of hiring.
Yeah.
They've done a ton of hiring, and the things that have been rolling out have been genuinely good ideas.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of the ideas we've seen in the past, where
I feel like a lot of the intellectual and creative energy at TikTok over the past couple years might have just been going to dealing with that one guy.
That one guy who walked in and was like, you know what we should do? Chain restaurants. The confidence of that man. Well, I don't think that's true. I think what's been happening is they've been hiring, and the platform has existed for a little longer. I think they've been hiring more people that are like familiar with what the platform is and what it looks like. Because for a long time, it really felt like the people in charge of TikTok have never fucking used TikTok a single day in their entire lives. And looking at some of this, I mean, especially with like this culture of not giving credit where credit is due, and how do we disrupt that? That is not something that someone who doesn't use the app and isn't intimately familiar with the issues on the app would know about. So this all bodes well.
I feel like there is a marginal possibility, and this is a little bit tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
That TikTok looked at Tumblr hiring the XKit team and thought, oh shit, we should do that.
Here's the thing though, every platform should look at Tumblr hiring the XKit team and say, oh shit, we should do that. Every single platform should do it, because that was smart.
Oh,
that was so smart.
Hiring the team that looked at your platform and said, yeah, you're missing these things, so we're just going to build them. And
be free
about it.
For free.
Yeah.
Bless you, XKit team. Just bless you. insane. It's insane to me that they did that. But that's truly, that should be the standard. If you see people doing things to improve your platform that are dedicated to staying on your platform, hire them and pay them to make those improvements for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hire XKit guy.
It's always crazy to me that like there seems to be this very simple like solution / answer to not a complicated question, but a question that like companies don't want to answer. They don't want to have to engage with it.
No.
Personally, though, I realize it makes no sense whatsoever. My favorite theory is still just that like that one guy was such a big problem.
I just like to think of like him coming into the office and everyone suddenly like running to their computers. They so much is going on. They know they're about to get a torrent of emails. People asking why they're asking people like teenagers to put their full business resumes on TikTok, just all their personal information, where they currently work, so that they can get an entry-level job at Target.
That new update. Oh, the one we weren't finished writing? Yeah. I pushed it out to 15% of the user base. Random.
No. Randomly, for fun. A little bit.
Happen.
I know that he was not responsible for that, but at the same time, I do think of him as responsible for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Feels,
so again, it was mostly just PR.
It feels correct to blame him.
Yeah. Anyone who comes up with TikTok restaurants, I'm gonna blame for everything.
That man is the living effigy of TikTok's bad decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know where he moved on to, because he got another job. Like, I checked his LinkedIn. I was like, I need to know where this man's going. I need to follow his career wherever he goes, because I want to know about the things he comes up with. And he went somewhere that's like not insignificant.
Okay, Panic Call.
Oh yeah, do it. Do it. I want to know if it works. I might actually see the notification pop up on my phone, but that's... Anyway. Yeah, do it, please.
Jumping over to another thing. I got this one because a friend of mine who got it sent me an invite. Exploring new ways for creators to build their community and be rewarded with live subscription. From beauty tutorials to watching your favorite recipes being prepared, learning new gaming tips, and everything in between, TikTok Live... Yeah, see? They really do see cooking and gaming as very connected.
Stop putting cooking and gaming in one category. We know they cannot possibly be.
Is it because there are so many competition cooking shows?
No. No.
One too many Hell's Kitchens. Too many Chops.
I mean, we know that they only have 12 categories, so cooking and gaming might be one of them.
I mean, I suppose if the majority of your content is you just playing Cooking Mama, or like...
We have had the Cooking Mama discussion, and I'm just glad that you've expanded it into competition food shows also are food and gaming combined. Great British Bake Off, you know, it's all in there. Okay, keep going, please.
We have the two genders as TikTok understands them: beauty tutorials and cooking and gaming. TikTok Live allows creators to inspire, entertain, and connect with engaged communities in real time. As we continue to connect creators with the global community, we're always exploring new ways to reward creators for their creativity. Today, we're introducing Live Subscription, a monthly subscription on TikTok for people to show their appreciation for their favorite live creators. Live Subscription will initially be available invite-only to creators this month and will then become available globally over the coming months. Bringing creators and viewers closer together with Live. Live Subscription is an extension of our efforts to build diversified creator monetization opportunities that suit a range of creator needs. Live Subscription gives creators the opportunity to increase their earnings while continuing to grow their community, and also provides engaged communities an opportunity to thank their favorite creators on a regular basis. At launch, subscriber perks will include subscriber badges, Subscribers receive badges that are displayed next to their name on their profile and upgraded over time. Custom emotes. Subscribers get access to exclusive emotes custom designed by the creators to use during live sessions to bring the community together and make your sessions more spirited. Subscriber-only chat. When the subscriber-only chat is turned on, creators and their subscribers have exclusive access to one another, enhancing an even more personal connection between the creator and the viewer. Keeping our community safe. The safety of our community is our priority, and as with all content on TikTok, content on live must abide by our community guidelines. To access the live subscription feature, creators must be of 18 years of age and have a minimum of 1,000 followers. Users must be over 18 to purchase the subscription and to send or receive coins and gifts. All users must follow our community guidelines and not solicit gifts or offer incentives for giving. For additional details and our list of live safety tools, please visit our website. While we're currently exploring live subscription with invite-only creators, you can find out more about our suite of recognition tools to get rewarded for your creativity, including Creator Next, branded content, and Creator Marketplace.
So, does the money that people spend on the subscription go to TikTok or the creator?
That is not clarified in any publication I've been able to find about this feature. I haven't been able to find how much the subscription costs.
Okay, so hello. Several people have sent me Discord messages on the condition that they remain anonymous and be my anonymous sources on how this program is working. The cost, like with tips, does appear to be split between the creator and TikTok.
Tips are not split between the creator and TikTok.
Not tips, you know what I mean. I don't know how live works. I'm never live. And when I'm live, I'm like, don't give me money through this shitty little app.
I mean, totally fair. It's just that, like,
the
unique thing about tips is that TikTok doesn't take
the share. It's gifts.
Yeah.
The ones you buy with coins that TikTok takes a big cut of. So TikTok, I believe, is taking, as far as I know, TikTok is taking a cut of that subscription. It's not a huge cut. I don't believe it's as much as the gifts, but it's still a cut. The whole, there are absolutely no real tangible incentives for people to subscribe to you on TikTok, other than followers only chat. And even then, that's not a private live stream with just your subscribers. That is a public live stream. The chat is just your subscribers, which is a great feature in and of itself. I wish it were available to everybody. I wish we had followers only chat. That would eliminate some issues that I see in live streams.
But it's not followers only chat. It's payers only chat.
It's payers only chat. There's really no exclusive content. There's not a lot of incentives. So creators that are, what?
There is custom emotes, and you do in fact have to add custom emotes in order.
You do have to add custom emotes.
My custom emote, I have one custom emote on my live subscriptions, is the drawing I did of Cecilia going,
fuck off, really?
Yeah. That's your face.
I hate you so much. I need you to understand. Every time I have to threaten you so often that I have to keep coming up with brand new fucking threats. Last night on Tumblr, I had to say that I was gonna break into your house and mess with your camera setup because I'm starting to run out of shit to say to you. That's vaguely threatening. And that was for suggesting that instead of parasocial relationship, it's Blorbos from life.
I go away from Tumblr for 2 weeks?
Come back. You have to come back. But this is I'm so mad at you. It's perfect. I'm going to abuse it. Others will not necessarily understand, but I'm going to abuse it. Okay, so you have to add emotes. But like the emotes are fine, the emotes are fun. Why am I paying money to just do that?
I mean, that's how that's like the main benefit of paying for Twitch subscriptions too.
Do I simply just not understand?
Yeah, I think you just aren't interested in being in a live stream audience culture.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. But I think that's not an insignificant number of people. I do think the like concept of fuck off. Why are you bringing our fucking tumblers up in the middle of the live stream?
Because it's funny.
Huh.
So Cecilia said, got told it was very parasocial of me to not like the blatant marketing ploy of HBO renewing Our Flag Means Death on the first day of Pride Month. So say what you will about the youths, but they never fail to deliver new and confusing Pride discourse right to my front door every year. To which I responded, "Oh no, we've lost another word. We've lost parasocial. It's meaningless now." And said, "Find a new thing to study." And this one said, "Because I'm planning on going to grad school to study parasocial relationships." So I said, I will simply invent new words. I will study chirosocial relationships, or heterosocial, or patasocial, or sociostochastic, or mediated asymmetric interrelations, or blorbo from real life. And Cecilia said, Watson, I'll break into your apartment and fuck around with your camera set up. Blorbo from real life, get absolutely wrecked. The face I'm making. And I responded with the face that Cecilia was making.
I would like it to be known that I responded with, I am the meme now, the memes have consumed me. Fucking wild. I cannot do this. The person that I know who went to who has like already gone to the orientation, did note that there were some things that TikTok sort of explicitly asked them to not share with their audiences.
Mm-hmm.
About like, hey, don't like push the subscriptions super hard, but you should still be trying to get the subscriptions. And like a lot of messaging around like, you know, really shouldn't be like begging for money, but we are asking you to do that. And like there are some incentives for if you get enough people to sign up within a certain amount of time. There are potentially some bonuses out there for people. They have been explicitly told, don't share that. Don't share that with your audience, that there is a potential bonus for, would motivate people to sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like that creates a really uncomfortable and sketchy culture around the product. Like if a lot of people are signing up for it because creators are saying, hey, if you sign up for this, TikTok will pay me, then there are going to be a lot of people signing up for it who don't actually have an interest in using that feature. And then the feature is going to flop because like the majority of support for it is going to be fake.
Yep.
So like it makes sense why TikTok wouldn't want people to do that. But then also providing those incentives for creators also makes sense because TikTok wants the creators on the creator side to make the effort to try and integrate this product into the way they're engaging with the platform.
Yeah. I think it's all good things. Mm-hmm. I just think that I am not the target audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's whatever. And I get the sense that this is almost definitely coming from all of those surveys that TikTok has been putting out lately. Not even lately, in the past year. I say lately as if like 12 months ago is the same as right now. But like the surveys that TikTok's been putting out for the last year about live streaming and about like where are you live streaming, which platforms are you enjoying most for live streaming, and people probably almost unanimously saying like, yeah, I stream on TikTok and Twitch is better for XYZ reasons.
Yes, on Twitch.
Like, that's the whole point. They also, those contests that they've been having as well, like the rankings, all of this other stuff, it does seem to be designed to like inspire more people to treat TikTok a little more like Twitch. If they would just give us our stream keys, we could in fact use TikTok like Twitch. But they're not doing that. I would play The Sims on TikTok all of the fucking time if I had my stream key.
I would just do streams where it's just me talking to a friend, the way that TikTok wants us to do, like the way that TikTok has explicit tools for. And if I could just do it through OBS so that I could have my fancy backgrounds and know like what is going to be appearing on screen at any given time, then it would not be actively irritating every time I try to do it.
Correct. The feature itself is a little bit, like when you're doing those dual lives, it is a little bit glitchy. It's not the best quality. When you get kicked out and come back in, the camera just decides where it's gonna crop you.
Listen, I don't need to see your whole face.
Blythe, I will be following up with you about this. I'm putting together a schedule to just like go live multiple times a week, because it's my job.
It's your job or whatever.
Yeah. Because that's when I make the overwhelming majority of my rent money.
Put me on the schedule.
I like being on other people's lives. I don't like my own lives.
Every once in a while, I'm like, I would like to go live today. And then I do, and it's usually like me being like, I need other bodies in the room while I do this thing. And then I don't do the thing at all. I just end up talking about Tumblr for like 2 hours. Yeah. Anyway.
So we are a half an hour into the stream. We've talked about some of the things TikTok did behind my back. I
like the framing on that.
And now let's talk about the things that the Academy is saying behind TikTok's back.
Yeah!
So right now I am reading this paper for the second time because I read it on the plane ride home. It's called In FYP We Trust, The Divine Force of Algorithmic Conspirituality.
Well, I'm starting with this one.
It's such a good title. It's such a good title.
And I'm just going to read the abstract for you real quick. I posted about this on my patrons channel on Discord because I'm going to be making TikToks about this, so it's sort of preview content. And somebody responded, the abstract for this slaps, which is just a hilarious thing to say about an academic paper. In this article, we introduce the concept of algorithmic conspirituality to capture occasions when people find personal, often revelatory connections to content algorithmically recommended to them on social media and explain these connections as a kind of algorithmically mediated cosmic intervention. The phenomenon emerges from three particular developments: an epistemological shift that has positioned algorithms as important tools for self-knowledge, the sublime quality that algorithms have acquired, which primes users to imagine them as providential, and the rise of conspirituality, a portmanteau of conspiracy and spirituality. In conceptualizing algorithmic conspirituality, we particularly focus on TikTok, where the platform's For You page algorithm shapes users' experience to an even greater degree than other platforms. We illustrate the concept through 3 example TikTok videos and conclude with a discussion and recommendations on future research agendas using algorithmic conspirituality. So the idea here is that people perceive the algorithm as having access to their true self. Like, did we lose Cecilia?
I'm here. It's fine.
Pay no attention to the black screen.
Please do not worry.
So conspirituality is conspirituality is a kind of like merging of like the New Age movement and the conspiracy theory movement into the kind of like absolutely everything is connected. There is always an explanation for everything. There is like a single secret narrative that explains all of the things that ever happen. Like, you know, that like giant terrifying conspiracy poster map?
Yeah.
That's conspirituality.
Yeah.
Algorithmic conspirituality is like that sensibility taken to the framework. This algorithm is basically a deity. That it has a truer insight into the nature of humans than humans do. That the algorithm knows things about you, and this is the idea that the algorithm serves you content because like that is based on like what it knows about who you are, but also the idea that things come at the right time, the idea that like the idea of like synchronicity, that like the algorithm is putting videos in front of you at the moment when you need them. Like there's that one where it's just somebody saying, whatever it is you're thinking of right now, this is your sign to do it. And the idea that like the algorithm is putting it in front of you at the moment that you need to hear that, which by the way, I only know about that TikTok because somebody else on my side of TikTok stitched it and said, hey, mentally ill TikTok, this one's not for us.
The only videos I saw about it too.
Yeah.
This is like absolutely the tarot card readers that are like, you know, if this comes across your For You page, there's no hashtags here.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you. This is really just for you.
They explicitly talk about the "there's no hashtags" line in this paper.
Love that shit. Every time it happens, it's like, you know, there are no hashtags here. It's like, yeah, TikTok's going off the other things you've hashtagged in the past.
Mm-hmm. Or the things people are commenting, or just like the stochastic distribution of average popularity of hashtags liked by the people who watched this whole video.
Correct.
That they've already tagged you as gaming and or cooking.
Yeah.
Assigned gaming and cooking at birth.
Have a thought? There's a Tumblr post for that.
Blythe just DM'd this to me.
Thank you, Blythe. But this is the, you know, okay, I'm positive that we are on a similar enough side of TikTok that you saw that video that someone put out about the actual study that has finally been done about ADHD information that is distributed on TikTok, and how only 1/4 of it is correct.
I have not seen that TikTok, but I did go to that talk at the convention last week.
Wonderful. But like, you know, when we're thinking about like the real world consequences of this, it's like the people are out there trying to get evaluated for ADHD that they do not have, but because they are convinced that the TikTok algorithm knows them better, that they know themselves, that they have been fed this content, that means they must have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And now people with actual ADHD are like, I can't get a diagnosis for a year because the waiting list is so long. Because people from TikTok have convinced themselves that their brain fog is ADHD.
Blythe says TikTok truly had me talking myself in and out of multiple diagnoses. I mean, I've had this problem, and like Micah and Cecilia know about this because I made a friends only video about it. But like, there was a period of time where there were a lot of videos on neurodivergent TikTok about people with comorbid ADHD and autism denying autism and saying that they just like it's all their ADHD, and like it was really had me gaslighting myself about it. I wound up like staying up till like 4 a.m. one night just taking every autism screener test I could find. I don't score high on those tests. I recently was like hanging out with a friend who was doing the RADS-R test, and I just took it with her. I scored a 22. I
Yeah.
scored 20 points lower than average for neurotypical.
Yeah. Nice. I
But
think somewhere but this is the other thing is like because I think it's because I have mutuals that are autistic. My father's autistic. My friend's autistic. My partner's autistic. I am obviously on autistic TikTok because I talk about it and I like consuming content about it. And
I
it
also I think that the buckets are bigger than people believe. And like,
yeah.
if you're on ADHD TikTok, you're on neurodivergent. You're on the bucket that has both autism and ADHD in it.
Right.
And like, if you feel like you're just on ADHD TikTok and not on autism TikTok, it's probably just because you don't care enough about autism content and you scroll. But like, some of us have developed a pathological reaction to the autism content and like watch it all the way through every time because it's a form of self-harm.
I occasionally will go and take an autism assessment test as well.
Mm-hmm.
I usually get like somewhere between like 36 and 42. Like that's my like I'm in there. And it's because I answer things honestly, like I am only interested in talking about things I'm interested in. And I don't want to talk about things I'm not interested in. But like there have been periods where I've been like, maybe I'm just masking super well. Maybe TikTok knows that my BPD is fake and it's actually just autism and it has been the whole time. And like, I had a period of time where I
maybe
was not
TikTok
only,
knows is what algorithmic conspirituality is.
I know. I had a period of time where I had people telling me that like, because TikTok knows, I should really be considering this. And I was like, I feel like I'm gaslighting myself and other people are now gaslighting me based on this idea that TikTok knows things.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't even tell that I don't like certain sounds.
I mean, we talked about it the other day where like I actively seek out certain niche content that is applicable to me and TikTok will not feed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have yet to find another cookie bite hearing loss person on this app, which is weird because in every other social platform, I find them within a week of joining that platform.
And it's funny because I have like openly stated I'm going to go be a teacher. I have mutuals that are teachers that post like educational content, like content about education in general. TikTok will not show me their content and I have to go seek them out when I'm like thinking about like like what my future lesson planning stuff is going to look like. So like does the algorithm know us better than we know ourselves? No, it doesn't. It feels like that sometimes because the world is on fire. And we need to believe that things are bigger than they are to make some fucking sense of it. I love conspiracy theory because it tells us a lot more about us than about the event.
Yeah.
Like people conceiving of like the assassination of JFK as like huge giant conspiracies because they can't make sense of a senseless act of violence. That's far more interesting than like the concept of the actual conspiracy itself. And it's the same thing. We're existing in this space where like everything is so senseless. Of course we're trying to make connections where there aren't any.
Have you heard the thing about the military ballistics professional who did like an investigation on the JFK assassination?
I have read so much about the JFK assassination. I need you to know that. So I think the answer is probably yes.
Yeah. So that one of the theories advanced by a dude who like was given close access to a lot of resources and records
was the Secret Service agent within the car? Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the
I know all of them.
A Secret Service agent like heard the gunshot, freaked out, accidentally discharged his weapon, and happened to hit JFK.
Yeah.
And like in the like dealing with that after the fact, they determined that JFK would have definitely died anyway. So they just decided not to ruin this guy's life by admitting that.
It's added to like the particular guy that they pinpoint had never used. He was new. He had never used the weapon that he was handed. And the Secret Service went out the night before and got pissed drunk, like blackout drunk, and showed up super hungover for this parade because all they were doing was sitting in the car. Little did they were all hungover that day, which is an insane that's a real fact, which is extremely funny to me. I know so much. It's all rattling around in here.
Toka live stream. Come for the TikTok conversation. Stay for the JFK assassination facts.
I mean, JFK assassination facts. These are JFK assassination claims about what happened in the larger constellation of conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy, but like this is the whole. It's this concept, and it's like very well explored. The reason I know so much about JFK is because I got really into Assassins, the Sondheim musical, and I was like, well, now I have to know everything about presidential assassinations because that's how I work. And then I have moments where I'm like, am I autistic? But like the whole point, Sondheim inserted this fucking number called "Something Just Broke" in the revival about the JFK assassination, where it is just people understanding that something has broken now and not being able to make any sense of it at all. And the reason it hit Americans so differently in that time period because of all the tumult that was going on. And like it holds true for the world we are living in now. It's like everything is on fire. We are trying to make sense of it. Humans are so good at making connections, especially where there are none. We're so good at it. And we have to keep that in mind.
So I'm not going to pull it up and play it because Twitch, but you know how there's a They Might Be Giants song for everything?
Yeah.
Sure do.
So about that idea that like just something broke and people didn't understand how reality works, there's occasionally They Might Be Giants does this thing where they have a contest for the music video for their like whatever their latest single is. One of them was for the song Am I Awake, which is about the bizarre state of like being maybe really tired and disoriented and not being able to figure out whether you're currently dreaming and are just experiencing dream logic, or whether you're just so strung out that you can't remember like whether you drank that cup of coffee that is empty next to you. And one of the submissions for the music video is just like scenes of newscasters reporting on JFK's assassination.
I'm so glad that I'm not the tinfoil hat person today. That's usually my job.
I know, because please, I am always the tinfoil. I don't put the. I have described to you seeing the movie Signs. Oh my god, yeah, probably, but you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, so They Might Be Giants is a band. They've been putting out music for I think over 40 years now.
Forever.
Yeah, they are like still together and making new music that is good and is substantially different from the music they've been making. Like every album, they change up everything. Oh yeah, also Blythe says TX talk about your worm theories. If you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TXWatson, you can find the song, the video Dr. Worm is a Trans Anthem, which is a trans reading of the song Dr. Worm, a song about a worm that plays the drums.
Yes.
He's getting better.
He is getting better on the drums.
I was gonna say I'm always the tinfoil hat person. I am always the person when we like close up stream where I'm like, so Mothman, you guys. Like I know that I've always been this person because the reason I'm interested in all of this like weird fucking bullshit is that it just tells us a lot more about humanity than it does about the like phenomena.
Yes.
Like I love Mothman, and that tells you a lot about you can make a lot of guesses about me by my like enthusiasm for Mothman.
I think I am maybe the least conspiracy theory person on this stream.
You are.
And I am the one whose college work was about corporations being a kind of agent that is meaningfully distinct from the humans that comprise them, and being in control of the global economy as a sort of conceptual species.
I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that it's like not unhinged for you to be the least conspiratorially minded person in this chat, but like, it's the truth.
You know, I am the rational, insane one, and I am the one who did this to my background on purpose.
It's not. We all occupy different spaces. I am so good at coming in and saying, like, when things are too heated, coming in and saying, "Sit the fuck down." I'm very good at that. I am so good at that. I just also think a lot about UFOs, and that's not a flaw.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, the reason that I am the least conspiracy theory person here is just that I am the one who's always like, this weird, strange thing that we all agree is happening could theoretically be happening without a bunch of people coordinating to do anything to make it happen. Sometimes weird, bizarre things happen and no one conspires about it.
I just blame the fact that so weird was a thing at the same time that I was a child and I was obsessive about it. So now all things are cryptid related and I'm okay with that.
Exactly. Okay. But this is wonderful and fascinating research, and I'm glad people are looking at it, because I do think sometimes we need a reality check. We all just need to check in with each other a little more often on TikTok of like, hey.
And a lot of these papers are like coming out right now or not out yet, which makes me feel better about the fact that I didn't encounter any of this stuff when I was doing my lit review of research on TikTok for our grant proposal. Because
it's all new.
Yeah, like prior to this week, my understanding of the current state of research on TikTok was the only question is, how is COVID-19 misinformation spreading on TikTok?
I am really, really glad that I feel like academics saw that and said, like, no, there's other stuff here.
Yeah.
We should be, and I am glad that they are doing that. It makes
I feel like what happened was like a lot of like people figured out that TikTok was important at the moment when the only money for anything was COVID.
Right.
And now there are a lot of people who've done research on COVID on TikTok, and now they're like, TikTok's interesting. There are other questions here.
Listen, if that's what it took for people to take TikTok seriously and to actually want to like look into these things, I'll take it.
I have my fingers crossed that someone is looking at TikTok right now, and like maybe I would like it to be faster, but like I know it's going to be like 5 years down the road. Someone's going to put out a paper about the effects of Debs v. Heard being broadcast every day on TikTok and all of the fucking memes. They're going to do it. Someone will, and I will be so grateful for their work when they do.
I'm still
I'm unwell about it.
Everything I learned about it, I learned against my will. I'm like actively against my will.
Yeah, that's because it has now turned into a bit of so the alt-right is always looking for stuff to latch onto.
Yep.
And anytime they see something that they can, with like something they can leverage, an angle that they can leverage in some way, they start pouring resources into bots, making that story blow up, making it trend. And this was the one. It got into like the men's rights activists, and Ben Shapiro recognized that this could be a huge win for their recruitment. And the Daily Wire has poured like what, $50,000 into pushing the story on most social media platforms. Speaking of conspiratorial thought, sometimes the conspiracy is right out there for you, laid out. All you have to do is go and grab it. This is one of them. It's really bad. It's really fucking bad. I can't stop thinking about it, actually. It has consumed me. People were in a place where they were saying, like, this feels Gamergate-y, and it feels Gamergate-esque. But I don't think the implications are necessarily going to be as wide-reaching, because the story is maybe
It's truly bizarre how big a deal Gamergate is.
Yeah, everything is Gamergate. Isn't that the title of that fucking New York Times opinion article that I loved very much, or whatever? But it was everything is Gamergate. It is everything is Gamergate all the time. Hate
Like,
that.
it's I don't know how long it's gonna take, but like eventually, when people document the early 20th century, Gamergate is going to get a subhead in the textbooks,
Oh yeah, 100%.
which is fucking insane.
It's
For
wild
what
that
that
like
movement was.
it's wild that like you can really. I hate that I can sit here and be like, I have Ruby Ridge on one end of this, like Ruby Ridge and Waco on one end of this, and like Gamergate on the other. And there's like just an easy through line. I fucking hate that. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. That like we got into somehow we ended up in like this quote unquote ethics in video gaming argument, which oh Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I just remember that the founder of the Italian fascist movement was like a romantic poet.
Yeah, they always fucking are. Some failed artist.
No, he was an extremely, extremely successful artist.
Yeah.
And he
It
was
was-
also just like, I would like to
it
get
was
back
his
to-
celebrity as a poet that was the vehicle for his views about fascism becoming popular.
Yep.
Having grown up in a heavily Italian American town, I purposely learned basically nothing about Italy's history out of spite. First, I remembered at some point thinking like this would be interesting to learn about, and then being like, "Fuck my neighbors, I hate it here," and then I didn't.
There is not time for this.
There's no time.
Stream, but I cannot highly enough recommend Innuendo Studios on YouTube. He's done a lot of really good coverage on Gamergate.
The quick rundown on Gamergate is that it started as a shitty misogynistic thing on the internet and became a recruiting tool for the alt-right and a way in which to sort of wedge specifically young white men, like get them filtered from like Twitter into Reddit into 4chan into 8chan, and then turn them into full-on alt-right trolls. It's part of the reason Donald Trump got elected.
And to be clear about the timeline of that, like started as this, became that, was the started as this was the first draft of the Five Guys post, and the became that was the second draft of the Five Guys post.
Correct. Which the evolution, the speed run
with which the like secret alt-right chat rooms latched onto this as like, this is the thing we can use to start a movement.
It was fucking instant.
Yeah.
And like the reason Depp v. Heard has been giving me so much anxiety is because Gamergate was instant. This was also they also realized immediately, oh, we can latch onto this.
Yeah, because like the big thing is that the fascist movement in the United States, the white supremacist movement in the United States, since the 90s, have been explicitly organizing around the philosophical principle of decentralized stochastic terrorism. And the idea is you don't organize, you just set up a bunch of like cultural spaces that are cesspools of like violent misogyny and racism. And they are just like waiting for a match. And as soon as the right match lands, all of your online communities are set up in a way that flares into a violent uprising.
If anyone is interested in like how we think about this from like an early internet history perspective, the book It Came From Something Awful is also like a really great review of how that fucking website Something Awful really birthed a lot of what is incredibly toxic about existing on the internet today.
And if you are willing to put up with something that is only available in audiobook, Robert Evans's I'll look up the title.
Only what a choice.
Yeah, The War on Everyone by Robert Evans, which was a I believe a Patreon or a like Kickstarter backer reward for people funding his trip to Rojava was that he said he'd write a book about the alt-right in the US and make the audiobook. And he has, on multiple occasions, just like refused to publish a version. Which is extremely annoying because I would like to cite it sometimes and I don't want to have to listen to the whole podcast again to find the sentence I was looking for.
I respect the chaos of that. I respect the absolutely unruly nature of being like, no, you have to cite the minute and second. Have fun. I guess you could listen to it in like you could upload it into like audio editing software and like just put cuts and flags.
I mean, you could also just like listen to it while you have something like auto running, and then you have a transcript that you can read.
Yeah, those are both things that are a lot more work than Control F in a PDF.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
and also then I have to rely on the transcribing software being good enough that whatever the search term was that I want to search for was correctly transcribed.
Oh my fucking God.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like, I didn't bring it up earlier because we were doing an interview, but I interviewed Cecilia earlier, and there were many times where I nearly broke because I had an eye on the Google auto captions, and they were hilariously wrong a lot of the time.
Good. I like that. All right. It is 9:01 p.m. And we could sign off for the evening.
Yeah. Thank you everyone so much for coming. Life says I'm doing Duolingo Irish right now, and the word for kiss is way too close to the word pog, and it's cracking me up.
Panic did say that it looks like privacy settings from mentions also apply for video tagging.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how this plays out. It might also be a like, the feature hasn't rolled out, so TikTok's like, no, you can't do this. But we shall see.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for coming. We will be back on Monday.
Good night.